Well, that didn't take very long. Out here in the desert steppes, you go from an emerald green riparian wet zone out to the desert really fast. And this is a very green desert right now. Oops, it's a little dark. But there's the outdoor school site and the river down here. There's the bridge coming over. But, ooh, don't blind you again. Jeez. So here I have two plants behind me, two shrubs. They're about the same color green. They're about the same kind of stature. You know, they just look like a shrubby plant. You know, actually that one's pretty robust and pretty tall. Now, when I say sagebrush, you might just think of these kind of shrubs. You know, they're just kind of low to the ground, maybe under waist height, maybe really strongly, you know, if they're really robust, up to high as a person might be. But that kind of greenish shrub that you would see out in the desert. But turns out this one right here is not a sagebrush, okay? And this one is. So let's see a little further up close what makes this one a sagebrush. Well, not what makes it a sagebrush, but why it's easier to identify. So first of all, look at the woody bark that's down here, very kind of large trunk with woody bark. And then each of the leaves has 3 teeth. So there they are. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and let's look at a different leaf. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that one's actually dissected a little bit on the end too, but 3 major lobes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Every once in a while you get a mutant, you know, that's got like a hand or something like that. Ooh, there's one. Okay, interesting. So, yes, Artemisia is the name of the sage genus. Tridentata. So tri for 3, dent for teeth. So Artemisia tridentata is the sagebrush. So you could question any shrub. What is your name? Well, they might not tell you their name, but if you know what to look for, you can determine who it is or maybe who it's not. Now, does this have 3 teeth on the end of the leaf? No. Okay, maybe that's just a fluke. Let's look at a different one. No. Okay, and it also has these yellow buds. If you look underneath, okay, it doesn't really have the woody trunk that the sagebrush did. So all in all, I might not know what this is, but we can determine that it's not a sagebrush. And that's really one of the best ways to learn plants, is to learn one thing at a time that you know really well, and then apply that as you move outward. Okay, so that was a little bit about the willow. That's a native plant that grows along the Owyhee riparian zone. The cottonwood tree, which there is a native cottonwood, but oftentimes the ones we see big and planted like this are an eastern cottonwood that was introduced. And then we have the wonderful and beautiful sagebrush that is so, I mean, look at that, all over, speckled throughout with the yellow balsam myriza. This is what defines Western North America to a lot of people. Ooh, look at that raven. Hello, raven. He's not talking. But this sagebrush is what kind of defines Western North America, and is a very, very important shrub to a whole lot of different plants and fungi and birds and lizards. It's a habitat and an ecosystem of its own called the desert steppes. Now, the last plant that I want to share with you, here, I should go find some. Hang on. This is crazy, but I guess overall it's good. So I'm looking for a grass. There's grass, there's grass, there's grass. No, not that grass. I'm looking for a grass called cheatgrass. You'll read about it in your booklet. And what's amazing to me is that, you know, that it's usually everywhere, or at least in a lot of desert landscapes that have been really abused in many ways. But and of course fire doesn't help that either. But look at this. I'm not seeing the cheatgrass that I was really expecting to. So I believe that this is some older dead heads of the cheatgrass, but I was really looking for some younger material coming up. Well, as I'm driving down the road, I think I know where there's at least one patch of cheatgrass, and I'll find it. So while I'm looking and rambling, Cheatgrass gets its name from being kind of a cheater grass. So it gets green really early in the season, begins to fruit and seed up before a lot of other things do. So you could actually put your animals, like say your herd of sheep or a herd of cattle, young calves, out on this grass to kind of fatten them a little bit earlier. So it's a cheater grass, and it's not native. It's not native to the area. That's really important to the story, because it was introduced for that purpose, to be kind of used as cheating for fattening some animals on the range early, which, like little did we know, or little did they know, using this, that it was going to spread and be such a problem, 100 years in the future. So, investigating, we can look at one of these older fronds of grass here. Okay, I'm just going to kind of pull it out from the roots because they're old dead roots. This is last year's cheatgrass. Okay, and notice the nodding head. A lot of grasses do this. They nod over. Okay, but you can see under here that all these dry fronds of the grass that are sticking up, those are just a kind of a dead stand of carbon material that can be burned really easily. So if a fire was coming through here, that would have a whole lot of rich dry stuff for the fire to burn. So that's one of the problems with cheat grass, is that it's so susceptible to fire. But also it tends to overtake an area when it's there. It tends to, we call it an invasive, because it tends to take over a huge patch, where I'm not really seeing that here. And I guess I have to overall be really happy for that. It's kind of funny that, see cheatgrass all over the desert, and I'm always cursing it. Oh, cheatgrass over there, cheatgrass over there. And here I am coming out to look for cheatgrass for outdoor school and to demonstrate, and there's no cheatgrass to be found in this wonderful habitat here by the Owyhee Dam in this public access area. So hopefully you've enjoyed some of your outdoor school exercises today, and looking forward to day 4, where we'll talk a little bit more, as we did today, a little bit more specifically about plants and their function in the ecology. We're going to talk a little bit about animals, and how animals and plants together, as well as the energy of the system, all interact together as what we think of as the web of life. Okay, that's one of the exercises. And then also there's a very specific critter out here in the Owyhee and all over North America. Actually, Oregon's known for this critter, the beaver. And we'll talk, so then after looking at animals and their ecology, we'll hone in a little bit more and look at beaver ecology and how they can change a stream to their liking, to their habitat. Okay, till next week. Bye-bye.